In early 2025, the Danish government announced plans to dramatically strengthen its Royal Navy in response to increased strategic risks posed by Russia. A total of 4 billion Danish kroner, around 535.5 million euros, was allocated to enhancing sovereign capability across a broad range of maritime tasks. And while we've already discussed the country's moves to acquire a vessel to monitor and repair critical underwater infrastructure, as well as its plan for Arctic patrol vessels, we have yet to discuss the goal of replacing or modernizing the Navy's 3 Iver Huitfeldt-class air defense frigates that entered service in 2011. With Spain's Navantia entering the competition in recent times, let's look at where this acquisition/modernization program stands as of early 2026. As explained by NavyLookout.com, the Navy's 3 Iver Huitfeldt-class frigates remain some of the most capable warships in Northern Europe, with advanced sensor and missile systems that support NATO's ballistic missile defense architecture. However, these ships have encountered some issues in the past few years. In March 2024, HDMS Iver Huitfeldt suffered significant weapon system failures during an engagement with Houthi drones in the Red Sea. The following month, in April 2024, HDMS Niels Juel suffered a malfunction of the Harpoon missile system during routine tests. Although the missile thankfully didn't launch, the ship's location during these tests forced the closure of nearby airspace and shipping lanes. Following the funding announcement, the following months would see the Danish government and military debate whether it was better to modernize or fully replace these frigates. While an official decision doesn't seem to have been made, things seem to be moving towards replacement. As reported by Naval News, it was in June 2025 that the Danish Chief of Defence, General Michael Hulgaard, recommended to the Ministry of Defence and the parties of the defence agreement to abandon the ongoing repair and planned upgrade of the frigates. The position taken by the general was seen as controversial due to the fact that the ships remain the most modern and, at least in theory, the most capable vessels in the Danish Navy. But the recommendation by the Chief of Defence to abandon the ships was said to be based on 3 factors. 1. The aforementioned systems failures on deployment in March 2024. Naval News states that for over a year, technical experts have attempted to resolve and repair the faults, but to no decisive effect. With all 3 frigates essentially being identical, the other 2 frigates would be vulnerable to the same failures. 2. In addition to the ongoing repairs, the frigates are facing a major upgrade of their sensors and fire control system, which is estimated to cost several billion Danish kroner, or several hundred million euro. And 3. Finally, the procurement of new air defense frigates as a replacement for or supplement to the Iver Huitfeldt-class is already part of the second phase of the Danish fleet plan as previously reported. It's said that the Danish Chief of Defence has recommended to drop the planned upgrade of the Iver Huitfeldt-class and instead focus on the rapid procurement and entry into service of a new class of air defence frigate. The general adds that the frigates should not be scrapped or sold, but rather be repurposed. It's his opinion that the ships should have their sensor and weapons capabilities scaled down and be turned into long-range patrol ships, perhaps as a supplement to the Danish Navy's smaller, shorter-ranged Diana-class patrol vessels. Fast forward a couple of months to late August 2025, German shipbuilder Naval Vessels Lürsen, or NVL, would present a new frigate design at the Danish Darlor Industry Days 2025. And so this is a good transition into discussing the defence firms that have expressed interest in providing frigates for the Royal Danish Navy and the options that appear to be on the table. NVL dubs its concept the GMF 120, with the letters standing for Guided Missile Frigate. With a length of about 120 meters, or 121.1 meters to be precise, Naval News notes that it's an unusually short overall length for a frigate. The ship's design sees a draft of 5 meters and a broad beam of 19 meters. A displacement figure has not been publicized, although based on overall dimensions, Naval News estimates full load displacement at around 5,000 tons. The reason for the smaller size? It's understood that NVL believes a more compact warship design is desirable for many smaller and littoral navies having to cover a flexible operational spectrum. Unfortunately, there are limited visuals of the ship, and Naval News seems to be the one with the most accurate photos and video, content that we don't feel comfortable republishing in our video. Nonetheless, the GMF 120 features an inverted or vertical bow and fully enclosed forward hull, and each ship is designed to have 64 cells for the Mark 41 VLS. For close-range air defense, the NVL design carries 2 Mark 49 launchers for RIM 116 RAM, with a total capacity of 42 missiles. Anti-ship missile capability consists of a total of 12 rounds distributed across 6 dual launchers. Gun armament sees a Leonardo main gun in 76mm along with 3 Rheinmetall Sea Snake 30mm style autocannons. There are also 4 Rheinmetall mass decoy launchers providing additional protection. Propulsion features diesel engines and a gas turbine driving 2 propellers for a top speed of 30 knots. The following month, in September 2025, it was reported by Zona Militaire that Denmark was in talks with the UK to acquire new Type 31s. The website reported that if the Type 31 is selected, the first units would be assembled directly in Rosyth, Scotland, with the possibility of future frigates being produced in Danish shipyards, replicating a model of industrial cooperation applied in other countries. The Type 31 by Babcock is actually based on the Arrowhead 140 design, which itself is based on the hull of the Iver Huitfeldt-class frigates. Known as the Inspiration class in the UK's Royal Navy, the ships have a displacement of 5,700 tons, a length of 138.7 meters, and an upper speed of 26 knots. The ships are designed to be crewed by about 100 personnel with space to accommodate another 40 on board. The Type 31, in addition to having a flight deck at the stern, has boat bays to allow for the launch and recovery of 3 PAC-24 boats. These can then be used to support boarding operations, anti-narcotics and piracy missions, as well as rendering assistance to other maritime craft. Each ship contains 119 square meters of mission space, which can accommodate up to 6 20-foot ISO containers, allowing for some modularity and flexibility in missions. The UK's plan is to fit the ships with the Mark 41 vertical launch system, 32 cells to be precise. These will be able to fire the standard missile SM-2, SM-3 and SM-6 variants. The system can also fire Tomahawk cruise missiles, Sea Sparrow, Evolved Sea Sparrow and vertical launch anti-submarine rockets. The ships also have a 76mm main gun system from BAE Systems and 2 40mm secondary guns from Saab Bofors. Additional small arms include 12.7mm heavy machine gun points. The UK's vessels are currently under construction, with the first scheduled to be in service and ready for operations by the end of the decade. All 5 ships are planned to be in service with the Royal Navy by the early 2030s. Poland has ordered 3 of these ships with options for another 5. Polish service entry is between 2028 and 2031. As it relates to Denmark, UK Defence Journal reported in December 2025 that Babcock has signalled that the Danish and Swedish naval programs it's competing in are approaching decisive phases. And then, as we mentioned at the introduction, the most recent entrant into this competition appears to be Spain's Navantia. With the news emerging on February 27th, Naval News reported that Navantia had presented a proposal for strategic cooperation in the naval domain to Denmark, as well as its capabilities to ensure fast and reliable delivery starting in 2030. Navantia's proposal guarantees collaboration with Danish industry, support throughout the ship's life cycle, and training with the support of the Danish Navy. The presentation took place in Denmark during the visit of the Spanish Navy frigate F-105 to Copenhagen, which was participating in NATO's Steadfast Dart 26 exercise in the Baltic Sea. Showing off his company's F-105, the 5th and most modern frigate of the F-100 series, Ricardo Dominguez, Navantia's chairman, stated in the official press release, "Navantia, with the support of the Spanish Navy and the Spanish government, is ready to act as a long-term strategic partner for Danish defense. We can provide Denmark with state-of-the-art naval capabilities tailored to current challenges, with a flexible collaboration model and delivering capabilities that ensure rapid delivery. Navantia is a reliable and long-term partner." The press release adds that the Navantia delegation presented the F-110 program for the Spanish Navy, which is said to be currently under execution and on or slightly ahead of schedule. The delegation also showcased the Alpha 4000 light frigate, with particular attention to its technological innovations and 5.0 industrial capabilities that enable greater reliability and speed in ship design and construction. And while we don't have any big announcements and presentations related to French interest, Naval News states that the country, through its naval group, is pitching the FDI to Denmark. The ship, relatively small by modern frigate standards, has a displacement of 4,500 tons. The website Navy Lookout states that the ship is capable of rapid acceleration, reaching 25 knots from a standing start in under 2 minutes, and decelerating sharply within confined distances. Air defense is provided by Aster missiles launched from Silver vertical launch systems, with space allocated for up to 32 cells. Gun armament consists of a 76mm gun at the front, supported by two 20mm Naval remote weapon stations. The FDI also has 8 Exocet MM40 Block 3C anti-ship missiles for surface strike capability, and twin torpedo tubes are fitted on either side of the ship for MU-90 lightweight ASW torpedoes. The hangar can accommodate a medium-sized helicopter up to 11 tons. There is certainly more that can be said about the ship and all the other ships we've covered, but this video is simply presenting the known contenders vying to provide the Royal Danish Navy with frigates. Finally, it's worth mentioning that about a month before the Danish military announced its major naval investment plan on April 22, 2025, the consortium Danske Flådeskibe announced on March 19, 2025, that it was ready to take on the entire task of delivering and servicing new Arctic patrol vessels and future frigates for Denmark. Hans Schneider, CEO of Danske Flådeskibe, was quoted as saying, "We can deliver the entire package to the Danish armed forces when it comes to both state-of-the-art frigates and Arctic ships, from design, outfitting and launching to servicing the finished ships, all with maximum use of Danish expertise and full control over production capacity. We want and need to involve Danish industry in delivering this important national task." No further details on a design have been disclosed by this consortium, though it's possible the organization could also position itself as more of a domestic partner for any industrial cooperation and technology transfer agreements for local production. And so that's everything we could find on the Danish Navy's potential replacement of its Iver Huitfeldt-class frigates, even though it doesn't look like an official tender has been put out. So between the GMF 120 by Germany's naval vessels Lürsen, French naval group's FDI, Type 31 by the UK's Babcock, and the F-110 by Spain's Navantia, which class of frigates would you like to see as part of the Royal Danish Navy's future fleet? Let us know by leaving a comment.